be accurate, but archaeology is precise by Douglas Gate Scott. Archaeology is all about the study of the buildings, graves, tools, and other objects that belong to people who lived in the past in order to learn about their culture and society. But what is the role of science in archaeology? What are the applications of science and technology to Indian archaeology? The answer for these questions is what this video is going to reveal about. India is a land of contrasts. Today, both nuclear technology and bullock cart are used, and I think it's quite sensible too. India is a country with a hoary past and traditions that go back to millennia, and this has allowed a traditional system of knowledge to develop, which is perhaps more important than what we've copied from Western science. In a way, we use Western science and technology to unravel our past with its rich knowledge systems. Archaeological techniques only provide us with remains which are silent. To make them speak, we have to use scientific techniques. Archaeology thus acquires the character of a detective job, and today we have virtually non-destructive techniques available as they require only nanogram amounts of samples, and India has a variety of such techniques. Moving into the application of science and technology to Indian archaeology, we have some categories like marine archaeology, plants and animals, chronology, rock art, metals, and so on.
Marine archaeology is the study of past human cultures with an emphasis on how humans interacted with the world's oceans, lakes, and river systems. It tends to be best known for its focus on shipwrecks. It is really the study of everything connected to seafaring. S.R. Rao, for the first time, has used underwater techniques for archaeological excavations near Dwarka, and now other universities are following it. He has claimed the discovery of the legendary site of Dwarka and has dated it to 1400 BC. He has used Mini Ranger, which is an electronically position fixing system. They have also made use of echo sounder and side scan sonar for underwater surveys. Oceanographic magnetometer has been employed to measure magnetic intensity of Earth's magnetic field. The techniques used do not yet have the sophistication of the Western ships for marine archaeology, but a beginning has been made. It would be much more important to explore Harappan shipwrecks so that we may have a chance to decipher the indescribable. Recently, a Harappan shipwreck has been reported from the Gulf of Oman. The problem of the mythical Dwaraka can never be solved for pre-literate period as it is for Mahabharata and Ramayana related sites.
Paleoethnobotany is the investigation of ancient environments and human activities related to those environments, as well as an understanding of how these two are co-evolved. Plant remains recovered from ancient sediments serve as the primary evidence for various research avenues such as origins of plant domestication, development of agriculture, subsistence strategies, and economic structures. The study of animals in archaeology teaches how animals and humans interacted with one another in prehistoric times. This gives an insight on how humans began domesticating animals, and this informs how humans have evolved into manipulating animals throughout prehistory and beyond. Zoo archaeologists gather and observe the fragments of bones from reptiles, mammals, amphibians, and birds around an archaeological site. Thus, they will gather context clues on how animals and humans subsisted together within their environment. So, through the years, humans have learned the basics of how to domesticate, breed, hunt, and consume animals.
Archaeological chronology describes a period of human or proto-human prehistory. Some archaeological timescales are based on relative dating techniques such as stratigraphy, and the others are based on chronometric methods such as carbon dating and dendrochronology. The archaeological sources play an important role in constructing and reconstructing the history of a region. Up to 1920, Indian civilization was considered to have begun about 6th century BC. However, the excavation at Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangam and Harappa proves its antiquity to be of 5000 BC. Prehistoric artifacts found in the excavation have shown that human activities have been here as early as about 2 million years ago. The temples and sculptures display an architectural and artistic history of the Indians from the Gupta period up to recent times. Coins are an important numismatic source that tell us about the Indo-Greek, Saka-Parthian and Kushana kings. Inscriptions of Ashoka, Samudragupta provide valuable information about our social and political status.
Rock arts are ancient human-made markings, paintings, sculptures made on natural stone. It includes paintings, drawings, engravings, stencils, prints, bas-relief carvings and figures. Its continued existence is important to help the global communities to recognize and learn about the diverse cultural traditions, their ancient origins and relations to the landscapes they have been inhabited. It is a form of historical record that helps us to understand the life of local communities. The common themes that found in the rock art are figures of flora and fauna, row of human figure, hunting, battle, dancing, geometric decorative designs and depictions of different human activities. Majority of the rock art that has been recorded had been produced as a form of rituals. India is one of the 3 countries having richest treasures of rock art, following Australia and South Africa. Rock arts have been reported throughout India in different geological and climatic zones. In India, no living tradition practices rock art anymore. It is very important to carry forward rock art studies as it enriches our understanding the way of life and nurtures an understanding for a valuable cultural resource.
As composition of an artifact is always related to its function, this information is fundamental to archaeological research. Identification of the component materials is also the first step in proposing a conservation treatment or preventive conservation measures. Unfortunately, it can be very difficult to determine the composition of archaeological artifacts. Not only are most of them fragmentary, but burial alters their composition. The bits that remain are the materials that have best survived in the unique chemistry of a particular site. Complicating the problem is the fact that most metal objects are composites of more than one type of metal, each type contributing its unique character to the whole. Knowledge of the characteristics of various metals when they were produced and how they were used will help in identifying them. This note describes a series of characteristics that can be evaluated to distinguish different metals.
Much of civilizational process owes itself the use of metals in place of earlier stone tools. Copper is known for the 5th millennium BC. Its native form is readily available and has been used for thousands of years. Eventually, it was discovered that a small amount of other metals, if added to copper, make it harder without sacrificing its ductility. As a result, iron appears late towards the end of the 2nd millennium BC. Now, considerable work has been done on early iron metallurgy, yet we do not know if meteoritic iron was used in India or not. Earlier, many workers identified meteoric iron just only on the basis of nickel. Recent work, however, show that it is not that simple. Photos says it emerges that the determination of the meteoric origin of a nickel-rich iron does not depend on a single chemical analysis of nickel and cobalt, but on a combination of chemical, electron microbe, and metallographic examinations.